Jun.
여기에서 이런 원정골이 김진수의 발끝까지 터졌어요.
The header is good, and it's the giant defender John Tae-wook, and eventually Korea have broken the deadlock.
You're listening to the K-League United podcast, proud partner of Football Nation Radio.
Hello, I'm Ashim Ricard. Welcome to the latest episode of The Weekend, a special bite-sized preview edition of the K-League United podcast. I'm Paul Neat, and we start with the latest news. Friday's K-League 1 Round 25 fixture between Gangwon FC and Incheon United has been shifted to be played behind closed doors, despite the South Korean government easing restrictions on crowds at sporting events. The decision comes as, although the rest of K-League will be allowed 25% of capacity through the turnstiles, the city of Gangneung, where Gangwon's home stadium is located, was on Thursday placed on level 2 social distancing measures. Confirmation of the Korean national team's friendlies in November. Paulo Bento and his team will take on Mexico on November 14th at 5 a.m. Korea time, and Qatar, the team Korea lost its last competitive match to, on November 17th at either 10 or 10:30 p.m. Korea time. Both games will be played in Austria. Meanwhile, K-League legend Lee Dong-guk has shown his discontent with his FIFA 21 stats. The 41-year-old was given 32 for pace and voiced his displeasure in a Jeonbuk Hyundai YouTube video. In K-League 2, Gyeongnam FC forward Ko Kyung-min scored his 65th goal in K-League 2 last weekend to become the league's all-time top goal scorer. The 33-year-old overtook Alex, formerly of Daegu, Anyang and Seoul Inland, with the round 23 winner over Anyang last weekend. Gyeongnam on Wednesday released Australian defender Nick Ansell from his contract. The former Melbourne Victory centre-back had played just 5 times for the Reds in 2020 after joining from fellow K-League 2 side Jeonnam Dragons over the winter. Ansell was the second foreign star to leave Changwon this fall after Dutch striker Luke, who was also released last month. Elsewhere in K-League 2, Brazilian forward Jefferson Baiano has left Bucheon FC 1995. Baiano scored just once in 11 appearances for Bucheon and featured just 2 times since July. Sticking with K-League 2, taking us through the standout match as well as the team and player to watch is Ryan Walters.
With 4 rounds to go, the K-League 2 table is split into 3 distinct sections. The top 2 are level on points, 1 point separates 3rd to 6th place, and 1 point separates 7th to 10th. This means that every match has big implications for the league standings, as every team competes for either the title, playoffs, or to avoid finishing bottom of the table. The match of the round takes place in Changwon Saturday afternoon as last year's relegated clubs do battle for the final time this season, with big implications for both Gyeongnam FC and Jeju United. Jeju have been arguably the most dominant team in the division and have not lost since July. However, a disappointing draw to Ansan Greeners last Sunday saw Jeju leapfrogged by Suwon FC, who have scored 2 more goals than the Islanders. Jeju now face the task of getting back into pole position by defeating a Gyeongnam side that they have failed to beat this season. The 2 previous matches have both resulted in draws, with the most recent being an entertaining 3-3 draw at Gyeongnam. The Reds are currently sitting level on points with Daejeon Hana Citizen and the Jeonnam Dragons ahead of both teams courtesy of their superior goals scored tally. Unlike Jeju, Gyeongnam have had a more mixed season. After winning 4 in a row in August, they have since picked up only 2 wins in their last 7 matches. Last Saturday's 1-0 win over FC Anyang was not the most impressive result, but is the type of win that shows a team is capable of grinding out a result to finish in the upper reaches of the table. They need to get whatever points are available in every match from now on, especially since their last 2 matches of the season are against Suwon and Daejeon. Another team that may play into the title race are the Jeonnam Dragons. The best defense in the league has made a name for themselves by earning 1-0 wins this season, and last Sunday was no different, with their 1-0 win over 9th place Cheongnam Asan keeping them in the hunt for a playoff place. With the race for the playoffs so close, could Jeonnam's tactics shoot themselves in the foot on the final day of the season? They have scored fewer goals than all the teams above them in the table, meaning that if points are level, they will be the lower-ranked side. Jeonnam have only scored more than 2 goals in a match twice this season, so it looks like it might be too late to change their ways. This means results are crucial, and they will have to aim for claiming their playoff place outright through accumulated points. Sunday's match at Suwon could be too big of a challenge, especially since Suwon are on a 5-match winning streak and are now top of the table. Jeonnam lost at home to Suwon 2-1 earlier in the season, but can take home from the fact that the most recent match between the 2 teams ended in a 2-2 draw at Suwon. Much like Jeonnam, a team looking to compete in the playoffs this season is Seoul Eland, and their striker Leandro Ribeiro is our player of the round. After a productive start to his K-League 2 career saw him grab 6 goals in his first 12 matches, Seoul Eland's Brazilian forward subsequently went 6 matches without finding the back of the net. The 25-year-old has returned to goal scoring in recent weeks, scoring twice in his last 4 matches. One was an injury-time winning goal in a crucial victory over playoff rivals Daejeon, while the other was part of last weekend's comprehensive win over Bucheon. Third-place Seoul traveled to 8th-place FC Anyang that have only picked up 1 point in their last 5 matches. If Leandro and the rest of the squad are in good form, then this could be an excellent chance to grab some goals that could be decisive if teams are level on points at the end of the season. Seoul have currently scored more than Jeonnam, but fewer than Gyeongnam or Daejeon. Seoul will have to be wary, though, as the last team that Anyang defeated was Seoul Eland. K-League 2 Round 24 kicks off this Saturday with FC Anyang hosting Seoul Eland. Daejeon Hana Citizen look to get back into the playoff hunt as they host Bucheon 1995, and Gyeongnam FC have the late game at 4 p.m. that day hosting Jeju United. The round continues on Sunday with Suwon FC hosting Jeonnam Dragons, and the final match of the round will take place Sunday afternoon as Cheongnam Asan host Ansan Greeners. Match previews and analysis, as always, is available on KLeagueUnited.com and KLeague.com. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much for that, Ryan. Coming up this Sunday night is the third and final East Coast derby of the season. Accordingly, I spoke with a couple of the fixtures' foreign stars, Ulsan Hyundai centre-back Dave Bulthuis. But first, here is Pohang's Serbian attacking midfield player Alexander Polosevic.
We don't have pressure for next game. I think they have, because everybody knows what's happening last year. And last year I win 2 times. Now I lose this year against Ulsan. And now we are prepared for us. Of course, it's a very important game. Of course, it's derbies for one club. I know it's very, very, very important. I'm not from Korea, but I want stay with together, and I want to have same feel like Koreans, like Pohang fans. When we play derby against Ulsan, when I come here, they say this is one of the big derby here. It's very important for both clubs. When we win last year, when we win, I see what's happening. How is important derby between Ulsan and Pohang.
All right, and looking to make up for last year's heartbreak, this is what Ulsan Hyundai's Dutch defender Dave Bulthuis had to say.
The atmosphere is very good. I think everybody have a nice feeling. 3 more games left, but we have still in the back of our head what happens last year, So last year we thought already a little bit that we were the champion. So this year we focus from game to game and see what happens and try to win every game. Yeah, I think we are doing well as a team and the atmosphere is fine. So I have trust in for 100% trust in our team. I think the game against Pohang is always a special game. All players know that, especially for the supporters, and that's why it's so sad the supporters are not here this year. But it will always be a special game, and it's not like every other game. I think this kind of derbies, tactics doesn't work for me, and that's what I think in derby games. I think the team that run more and fight more most of the time, that will win this game. I see this already a lot of my career when I play with Utrecht against Ajax. We always won from Ajax because we just work harder, and I hope that we can do this of next weekend. We can do the same, and that we have in our mind that every game that we play against now it's a final. So Pohang is the first team that we play against in the 3 finals, and I think they have still revenge feelings for that we kicked them out of the cup.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeagueUnited with any questions, comments or reactions. Or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
All right, thank you very much once again to both Polosevic and Bulthuis. The full interviews can be found in audio form on Thursday's episode of the K-League United podcast or in video form for our Patreons. The East Coast Derby is, of course, the standout match this weekend, and to tell us just why that is, as well as who the team and player to watch are this weekend, here is Matthew Binns.
Just 3 rounds remain as the 2020 Hana 1Q K-League 1 campaign reaches round 25 this weekend. With fans welcome back through the turnstiles for the first time since August, there is an East Coast derby to look forward to, as well as key matches at both ends of the table. Here are your match of the round, team of the round and player of the round to look forward to. The match of the round sees Pohang Steelers play host at Ulsan Hyundai. The East Coast Derby is a fixture that needs no introduction. Pohang Steelers vs Ulsan Hyundai dates back to the early 1980s, when the POSCO Atoms, aka Pohang, went to battle against the Hyundai Harangi, aka Ulsan, and is seldom short of drama. Last season, Pohang famously prevented their bitter rivals Ulsan from sealing the K-League 1 title on the final day on account of a thumping 4-1 win. 7 years to the day before that, and Pohang went on to claim the title themselves thanks to a 1-0 win over the Harangi. This Sunday, for what will be the final match of the weekend, what is at stake is simple. For Ulsan, anything less than a win could see second place John Buck slip back in. Although the pressure is off with AFC Champions League football in the bag for next year, Pohang will want revenge for league defeats to Ulsan earlier in the season, as well as the penalty shootout loss in the FA Cup semi-finals just over a fortnight ago. From 166 previous K-League encounters, Pohang have 61 to Ulsan's 55 and 50 draws. But the Harangi have actually been able to outscore their East Coast neighbours, scoring 201 goals to the Steelers' 198. Over the last 10 meetings in the league, Ulsan have had the upper hand with 6 wins to Pohang's 4. This weekend's team of the round is Incheon United. Perennial escape artists Incheon United head to Gangneung on the east coast to take on Gangwon FC this Friday night. Incheon suffered defeat to Suwon Blue Wings last time out, and so will be determined to bounce back with a win and get the so-called greatest of great escapes back on track. Stefan Mugoša was named as K-League Player of the Month for September after 2 hat-tricks and 1 assist throughout the month, the first of which came in Durumi's 3-2 win over Gangwon in round 19. With 11th place Songnam not taken to the field until Saturday, a win for Incheon will move them off the foot of the table and potentially up to 10th should Jo Sung-hwan's men win by 2 goals or more. The player of the round this weekend is FC Seoul youngster Cho Young-uk. With mathematical safety still not sealed for FC Seoul, young forward Cho Young-uk will be tasked with helping the capital club overcome Songnam FC this Saturday. Cho is involved in the Team Bento vs Team Hak-bum friendly matches between the full Korean national team and the Olympic team, starting both matches and is a key cog for Kim Hak-bum's under-23 side. In K-League this season, the 20-year-old has 2 goals to his name, just 1 fewer than leading scorers Han Sung-kyu and Yun Ju-tae, and also has 1 assist. Among players 22 and under, Cho is 3rd for shots with 28, 5th for shots on target, and 4th for shots made inside the penalty area. The former Korea University forward also ranks 5th for the number of passes made into the final third. This weekend's action starts on Friday the 16th of October with Gangwon FC hosting Incheon United at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday the 17th of October, Sangju Sangmu play host to Daegu FC at 2 p.m. before FC Seoul travel to Songnam FC at 4:30. Sunday then sees Busan I-Park host Suwon Samsung Blue Wings at 2 o'clock before Gwangju FC travel up to Jeonju to verse Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors at 4:30. Finally, the match of the round, the East Coast Derby, Pohang Steelers will play Ulsan Hyundai at 7 p.m. Back to you, Paul.
All right, thank you very much for that, Matthew. Okay, before we go, here's a reminder of what's been happening in Korean football over the last week or so. Fans are back after almost 2 months with games being played behind closed doors. The final 3 matches of K-League 1 and final 4 in K-League 2, plus the playoffs, will be played with supporters in attendance. The news comes following the South Korean government announcing on Sunday, the 11th of October, that the social distancing scheme was to be downgraded to level 1 from level 2 starting Monday. The same virus prevention measures that were in place previously will be adhered to, such as no shouting or chanting, no alcoholic beverages, no food, and a distance of around 2 meters must be kept from others, with masks being worn at all times. In terms of attendances, 25% of stadium capacity is allowed, the same level as in August. Fans returning and the income they bring will be most welcome to K-League clubs. According to government data, the culture, sports and tourism industry suffered losses of $9.2 billion in the first 9 months of this year. The football industry alone suffered losses of $51 million. Team Bento versus Team Hak-bum. While fans are to return to K-League matches this weekend, the first game of football to have fans in attendance came on Monday night in the second of the 2 Team Bento versus Team Hak-bum friendlies. After a 2-2 draw in the first leg, which saw the senior team grab a late equaliser, Team Bento ran out comfortable 3-0 winners in the second leg. But the first leg was played on Hangul Day, a national holiday in South Korea that commemorates the Korean writing system Hangul. Normally, players would wear shirts with their names written in English as per FIFA regulations, but on Friday, the 10th of October, both the full national team and the Olympic team had their names written in Korean. Stefan Mugoša, the K-League Player of the Month award for September, has gone to Incheon United Stefan Mugoša. The Montenegro international scored 2 hat-tricks and laid on 1 assist throughout the month of September as Incheon bravely attempt to pull off the greatest of great escapes. United take take on Gangwon FC this Friday night in K-League 1 round 25. It's going to be Doha in Qatar. After months of uncertainty, K-League's ACL contingent finally learnt of where the 2020 AFC Champions League group stages will be held. Doha has been selected as a neutral venue and matches will begin on November the 18th, details of which can be found on the AFC's official website. The tournament got underway in February but was curtailed by the COVID-19 pandemic in early March. Stars of Qatar. Korean international midfielders Nam Tae-hee and Jong Eun-young on Saturday lifted the Qatari Stars League Cup following Al Saad's 4-0 win over Al Arabi. Nam scored in the 53rd minute to give Al Saad a 2-0 advantage after Yusuf Abdusirag had given Al Zaim or the Boss a 17th minute lead. Former Arsenal midfielder Santi Cazorla made it 3 on 77 minutes before Rodrigo Barbosa added a 4th in time added on. For Nam, it is his second piece of silverware for Al Saad, having also won the Sheikh Jassim Cup in 2019. For Jung, it is a third. K-League internationals, FC Seoul's Ikramyon Alibayev and Gwangju FC's Rustamyon Ashermatov were on international duty for Uzbekistan recently. On October the 8th, both were involved in the 2-1 loss to Iran. Ashermatov started while Alibayev came on as a sub on 57 minutes. Then on October the 12th, the White Wolves overcame the UAE in a 2-1 win, but both Alibayev and Ashermatov were unused substitutes. The pair will now be required to self-quarantine for 14 days upon return to Korea and so are unavailable for selection during that time. K-League 2-horse race and a playoff standoff. Meanwhile, in the K-League 2, the race for the title is as close as it has ever been, with Jeju United and Suwon FC locked on the same number of points. Suwon sit atop of the table, having scored more goals than Jeju with 4 matches left to play. United struck a 98th minute equaliser on Sunday to salvage a late point at home to Ansang Greeners, while Suwon overcame an out-of-form Daejeon on Saturday by 1-0. Elsewhere, Seoul Eland moved up to third after a resounding 3-0 win over Bucheon, while wins for Gyeongnam in fourth and the Jeonnam Dragons in sixth keeps a sprint for a place in the playoffs as tight as can be, with just 1 point between third and sixth. Alright, that is it for this week. I hope you enjoy the weekend. Don't forget we have all sorts of content on KLeagueUnited.com and KLeague.com, including the East Coast Derby preview, written versions of the interviews with Dave Bulthuis and Alexander Polosevic, and of course previews for most games can be found on KLeagueUnited.com. We are on social media, all at KLeague United, and to find us, the link is, as always, in the Bruno bio. Until next time, goodbye.
정조선 고공 폭격기 팀 신우